and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now tonight we're going to speak all about a big turn off for either sex, which is neediness. Now this is something that I think affects relationships, you know, all round, whether you're in a fairly new relationship or if you've been with someone for a while. And I think it also affects friendships, because being needy in a friendship is also a big no-no. So have you ever been with a partner that's been very needy? What was it like? Did it get on your nerves? How did you handle it? This is your show. It's a live show, so you can give us a call as well to give your opinion. You can call on 020-7686-6300, and you can also email Chris at chrissybshow.tv, and also you can Facebook the Chrissy B Show. I've had a couple of comments here. The first one's from Sabrina, and she says, I think neediness stems from insecurity. They need something like a relationship to make them feel secure. What do you guys think about that? And we also have Cyrena, who says insecurity, low self-esteem, low confidence, it can go on. I think one of the worst things is if the person has not got the right mindset, all sorts of problems begin to appear in the relationship. But I'm not going to be alone on this show tonight. I do have two very special guests, very good friends of mine, and also hosts of a TV talk show called Love Talk. But to introduce them, let's just take a look at this video.
Love Talk, time to communicate.
Helena and I, we are a team. There's no third person there, it's me and her.
Everyone has gone through failure. It's part of life. It can only help you be a stronger person.
No, you hang up first.
No, you do. You're looking forward to Valentine's Day this week.
Let's just say I'm deep in fault.
It means he doesn't have a clue. When we fight for each other rather than against each other, that is the main key to solving problems.
Love Talk, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m.
Okay, so here are my lovely guests, Helena and James.
Hi.
Hello. You look so comfortable there with your teacup
I
and
am.
stuff. I don't even get
so
a cup of tea, and she gets a cup of tea. You're right.
I am. Thanks for having us.
So tell us a little bit about Love Talk, first of all, because you're both sort of, I would call you love experts, because you've helped many people and stuff in relationship problems. So tell us about the show, first of all. James.
Well, we're not really experts per se, but we do get to talk to a lot of couples and try to help them through their problems.
And
of
through
course,
our experiences as well.
yeah, because we went through problems as well in the beginning. So what the show is about is it's a 30-minute show to try to help people with practical problems, whether they're dating or married, or even if they're going through tough times. So it's a very straight to the point, concise program to try to help them to solve those problems.
Okay, and you also run some seminars on Saturdays, don't you? Called
Yes.
Love Therapy. So that's like, what's that about? What do you do there?
Again, very straight to the point.
More practical advice.
More
isn't
practical advice, yes. And I mean, a lot of the people that attend the Love Therapy are single, so they want to start on the right foot in their relationships. They don't want to get it wrong. So those meetings are there to help them to make the right decisions. Yeah. And also couples, they come, they get advice, right?
Yes, a lot of advice. How should I behave at home? I just got married. You know, I don't know how to deal with this situation or that situation, so we advise them. But we also have a lot of people who were abused in the past. They suffered abuse in relationships, and even as young, you know, at a young age. So they need to overcome that in order to enter a relationship and be happy. So we help them also get through that stage of their life.
Okay, so neediness, obviously, it's a subject that we're talking about.
We have so
today.
much to talk about, isn't it? Neediness.
I hope so, because we've got a whole hour to talk. So neediness
No problem.
Give me some more tea.
Yes, please.
It's funny. Okay, maybe I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, yeah, neediness.
Neediness.
So this is something that obviously does affect a lot of relationships. But first of all, were either of you needy in the past? Maybe not in this particular relationship, but maybe in the past.
Well, I'll let Helena explain that, but I think in the beginning she was quite needy.
What about you, James, though?
I don't think.
From what you tell me, you used to be in your previous relationship.
I was very needy and emotional.
And then you went a bit overboard afterwards.
But then I learned from my mistakes. And then because it was with her, I was her first boyfriend and everything, so
oh, that's so sweet.
She hadn't gone through
love the
experience
old-fashioned
like
way.
So for her, in the beginning, she was very, very needy.
Yeah, you know.
So in what way? What would get on your nerves, James? Sorry, don't mind me.
Be careful with what you're gonna say.
Well,
Joking.
she, you know, how can I put it? She was very, I wouldn't say jealous, right? Maybe a little bit.
I was very
Yes.
jealous, actually.
Okay, thank you for admitting that.
See that? You just see that kind of response.
Yeah,
like,
but
be careful what he says because he's learning art.
No, he can. Nah, we've passed that
Yeah, but in
stage.
the
He
beginning,
can.
she was quite. I remember an episode. I think I told her this once. We were sitting in the bus, going home from work, you know, in the evening, and there was a young girl talking really loudly on the phone behind us, and you can on the front window of the bus you can see the reflection of the person. And I was looking at her because she was talking so loud. And I remember this was our first couple of months of being married, and Helena said, "Why are you looking at her?"
Why are you staring at her anyway?
Yeah, so she was very.
I was very young. Okay, I'm still young, but I used to. We married. What? I was 19.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was very mature in other areas, but you know, it's the first boyfriend. You really love that person. That's why you married the person. So I married him. I really was sure he was the one. So you are a bit overprotective, a bit afraid, because you hear so many things nowadays.
Yeah.
People are not faithful anymore. So not that I
So
thought
you
you
were
wouldn't.
needy because he was your first relationship, but there's others that are needy because have been hurt in the past and they're like afraid of this, maybe the same thing happening again. So they're sort of trying to cling on, and so it could go either way, couldn't it?
But my case, I think, yes, it can. But my case, I think, is more insecurity. I was very insecure, you know, because, you know, of my past as well. And, you know, I was not very secure of myself.
What about your past, Helena?
What
You
about
can't just throw that in the ring and not talk about it now.
Right. Well, in what aspect? Love life?
Yeah.
Well, I used to be very bullied at school, from school until college, actually. And I used to be overweight, and then that affected me a lot because I never had a boyfriend, and no one ever looked at me, even to, you know. You know, you reach that age where
Yeah, I remember those
that
days,
young
Helena.
boy that you remember.
I remember. Yeah, I remember not being looked at.
Well, I saw a picture of you. I can't blame them.
Oh my God, you can't say that on TV. It's actually
Wait,
true. It's true.
You showed me a picture of you. You were like, woo.
Okay,
Anyway,
unibrow and everything.
Next time I'll show you another one of my ones. Yeah, so you know, I was young. I wouldn't look after myself. I didn't like myself. There were a lot of issues from when I, you know, from family, from the beginning of everything. So when I started valuing myself a bit more and changing, then I met my husband, of course, many years later, and it was like, wow, he likes me, I like him, so this is really good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to.
You felt special for once, like.
Of course, so I didn't want to lose him. This is a bit
you-
too much
could you
for his.
tell- Could you tell us? I mean, I know you're going to give us advice, but I'd like to sort of find out about your relationship because I'm sure our viewers are interested as well. But could you tell she was quite needy and quite insecure when you first met her, or within the first?
No, because she was very independent as well. When she was single, she was very, very independent. She started working for herself, not for herself, but you know, getting a job when she was really young. You know, moved out of her parents' house when she was very young. So she was very, very independent. So I only got to see that side after we got married.
Because it was
Oh.
only
Like,
emotionally speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my little secret thing because of all the insecurities I had.
But you couldn't hide it for long, could you?
No, because when I got married to him, it's like I didn't want to share him with anyone. I feel so silly now just talking about it. But this happens.
When you say share him with anyone, what do you
Like,
mean, like with friends?
Friends, and even oh my gosh, even his cousin, he's got many cousins, his family is massive, big, many people. And he has this particular cousin who is like, you know what, she behaves as like a girlfriend or something, and she's married.
Yeah.
And has a son. You know, it's
Let's
just the way.
just hope she's not watching this.
No, but you know, but
Well, actually, I think this show does reach.
but she knows. No, but she knows. She knows that she is very attached. She used to be very attached to you, and that used to bother me a lot.
So I'm not being funny, but that would bother me as well. I don't
Yeah.
think that's the wrong thing.
But-
'cause, you know,
But even silly things, it used to bother
For example,
me.
it wasn't that I was very attached to her. She was very attached to me. And for example, we didn't speak at all. It's just when we got married, she was there because we got married close to my family. So she got to know her then. But I had no links or communication with her. So you can say there was no reason for her to feel like that because I didn't really speak
And you guys
to her.
grew up together like
Yeah, we just
brother
grew
and
up together.
sister.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
going
she
back
was
to
like
this
this.
thing of being needy, no one wants someone who's needy with them because it's not healthy.
It's
You're going to be
tiring.
elaborating on that,
Yes.
aren't you, James?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
really-
I'd like to hear from our viewers tonight as well. So please do give us a call. Would you consider yourself a needy person? Were you needy in the past? Or have you been with someone, maybe you've had an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend that was extremely needy? What was it like being in a relationship? And did the relationship fall apart because of that neediness? Do give us a call on 020 7686 6300. I have no idea if it's time for a break because I can't hear anything from anyone inside. Is it time for a break, guys? Someone give me the thumbs up. Yes, it is time for a break. I think I've got, I don't think my earpiece is working. All right, so we're going to go to a quick break and then we're going to delve into the subject even more. I'm going to be reading a few more of your Facebook comments and also we're going to be hearing more from our love experts here. Join us then.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Hello, welcome back. She wants another cup of tea, so we're just discussing that. But anyway, today we're talking about neediness. Now, we have got a few Facebook comments as well. We read one before. Let's see this one. This one's from Barbara. And she says, when someone is insecure and is accusing the person they are with of things they haven't done, it makes that person feel upset, resentful, annoyed, and genuinely put off, which is understandable because imagine if you're getting accused, for example, like that happened on the bus, like, oh, why are you looking at her? Why are you looking at her? And you weren't. That can make the person feel quite bad, like, oh, she doesn't trust me.
I was looking at her.
But not in that way.
Not in that
Yes,
way,
of course,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I was looking at her because, you know, there's 3 people on the bus, me, her, and that girl, and she's talking really loud. You know, that's what you do. You look at what's happening. Do you understand? But yeah.
But this happened with me and my husband. We were boyfriend and girlfriend as well because we went out. And at the time, I had really bad eyesight before I had like laser treatment on my eyes, and I had really bad eye. I couldn't see very far in front of me at all. So I was just looking in that direction. He was convinced that I was looking at this guy, and I couldn't even see the guy. And I was saying, I'm not looking. I saw you looking at him. I can, because we used to fight like that all the time. But it was so frustrating. We went home. We had this massive argument because of this, and it's like he did not believe me that I couldn't see like that far. But it was horrible because it's just like when someone doesn't believe you, you're supposed to be with someone that you love and that trusts you, and then they don't believe you, it just makes that relationship.
And the thing about neediness, for example, it's very important that a couple are together, right? And close together, which means they do things together. That's very important. But everybody needs space. And when I say space, it's not the kind of space when you say, look, we need to take a break from the relationship, you know, I need space to breathe and so on. Not that, but you know, you want an hour and a half to watch a football match.
Was that a little dig, James?
No, it's not. Because we don't
I'll
have,
let him do that
we don't
now.
have problems like that. But I want an hour and a half to watch a football match. I want, you know, I don't know, to go and see my mom, my dad, I don't know. And that doesn't mean, but when the other person takes issue with that, then that becomes a problem because it's not only that you don't have space to breathe, because that's not a problem, but it shows the person doesn't trust you. And you have 2 choices when the person, if you're the needy person, you have 2 choices. If you're too needy, you want to be with the person all the time because you think they might be doing something wrong, then you shouldn't be there. But if you are too needy because you want to be there, but all these ideas you have that the person might be doing something are unfounded, then you have to make a choice. And the choice is you have to choose to trust the person. If you don't, then there's no point of being
Until
there.
you're proven otherwise. That's the thing.
But you know what? The person who is needy, she tends to be a bit possessive. Even if she says, no, it's not true. It is true. Deep down, your actions will show you that you become a bit possessive because you're so needy. It's your person. Yeah. It's your moment with the person or whatever, if you're married or just, you know, dating. So you start acting in a way that is very possessive. And if at that time he would say to me, well, he used to say to me in a different in different words, or you've been too needy, I would say no. And that was a reason for another argument. We used to argue a lot because of, you know, what I used to think, oh, but I think you were doing this or doing that or looking at this or looking at that. Do you understand? So the person can't see it. It's just...
But you can't. Because the person also becomes a drama queen. But we're going to talk about that in just a second. Let's see what else Barbara says here. It can also put them on edge if that insecurity and questioning is abusive and constant. Neediness and insecurities really need to be dealt with, I agree. It's hard for the insecure person too. That's another issue, because obviously a person that's insecure obviously has their own issues going on and they don't want to be that way, but they don't.
There's a reason behind why she's...
Exactly. Yes, it's hard for the insecure person too, but they need to realize their own issues so they can move on. Maybe the person they are with isn't right for them if all they feel is insecure. So that's another good point. So if maybe sometimes some women or men even, they have a reason to feel insecure, because if that guy, for example, has a roaming eyes looking at every bit of skirt that walks past, obviously she's going to start to feel insecure. So there's that side of things as well. So I think
but
being needy...
then the problem is not that she's needy, is that there's an essential problem in the relationship, and that has to be dealt with. Right?
But I also agree that if the person, okay, maybe the needy people or someone who is watching the show, for let's say, and she might think, oh, I know someone who is like that, but she doesn't see herself as being needy, so she's not taking that for herself. But it would be interesting to, you know, I invite whoever is watching the show to analyze, you know, her actions, because that will show if she's been needy. And if she is this kind of person, it's good to deal with the issues before you enter a relationship, if you have that option. Because you will save yourself from a lot of crying, a lot of what did I used to do?
Moaning
and a lot of tantrums, and also lots of things. You know, I was really, well, I would say, I would use the word blessed that he was very patient, but you know, it's not good for the relationship if you have the option.
That I do agree with that, because I went through exactly the same thing with Michael, my husband, because I was extremely needy. Like with you, he was my first boyfriend, and I had a lot of issues myself, like depression and insecurities, and so didn't think much of myself at all. So any time, for example, he would look in the direction of another girl, or he wasn't giving me the attention that I wanted or I needed at the time, I felt like rubbish. So any time I didn't get that attention, I was extremely needy. I'd get into arguments with him. It was
but you see, it's all about how you saw yourself that affected your relationship. You see, it's inside the person. For example, sorry to interrupt you. He was going to say something.
Okay, that's how it usually is. You know,
give him a chance to speak.
For me to speak, I have to.
Okay. Let me interrupt you, Elena, because I've got a caller. Let's see what they have to say about this issue. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
My name's Peter Lewis.
Hi, Peter. What did you have to say about this topic? Ever been with someone needy?
I was interested anyway. I sort of agree with what James was saying about it's nice to have your own time, but if you've got a needy girlfriend and you don't have your own time, it feels a bit suffocating. But also on the flip side, knowing that your girlfriend isn't needy and she's independent is a really attractive quality. Exactly. So I have an independent girlfriend, because she's so independent. Once I've done what I want to do, I always want to sort of seek her out. So I think there's a positive to sort of talking about not being needy, that it's really attractive. It's a really good thing to see.
And what you said now, it's actually really a major point. That's what I was trying to speak when Helena didn't let me speak. I was actually trying to say that, but Helena cut me off. But what I was going to say is this: when the person is too needy, it may be that this is not always the case, but it may be that you have a lot of time in your hands, right? So it might be that, like you said about your girlfriend, she's independent, so that makes her attractive. If you are too needy, this is for those who are watching us and have this problem, then it may be you need to do something with your life you haven't done yet. Try a different hobby, challenge yourself, learn to do something new, and that will make you attractive to the other person, and they will want to see, wow, you know, you're doing all these amazing things. Am I right?
Yeah, and you've got something to talk about as well. It's rather than the same old things. You can just talk about work and, you know, your time together. The other person has a hobby. It's attractive and you know, you want to know what they're up to and you want to be a part of it.
Peter, have
Absolutely.
you ever been with anyone that's needy before in the past?
Yeah, I have done.
What was that like?
It's suffocating and it makes you grumpy.
So what can you say a few things, maybe what the person used to do, if it's not too private?
No, it's not too private, just constant texting, constant calls. If I went out with my friends, they let me without saying, you know, I'm allowed to do what I want, but they let me, but give me a look, and then it becomes like a psychological thing of letting you know that they're not happy that you've gone out with your friends and texting you and asking you what time you're going to be home and different things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, you know, texting someone that you really like should be something you have pleasure in doing, not a chore. And when someone says, "Oh, you didn't text me," you do it, but it becomes a chore. You really don't want to do it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Peter, I'm really glad you've got a confident girlfriend, so hold on to her.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for your call.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
But you know something, Chris? There's also men who are needy, not just women.
I know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
are.
It's not his
Let's maybe
case.
hear some from the ladies now
Yes.
sleeping with a needy guy, because I'd
But
like to.
there are needy men out there.
Yeah, and this point, you know, I'm really glad Peter called, because what he said is exactly what I was going to say. This point of the person who's needy is usually because it could be different things, but either he has a lot of time or she has a lot of time in her hands, or because she doesn't think much about herself, like you said. And the solution for that is not reading a book. You can read a book, learn how to be confident in 10 steps. That's not going to solve your problem. What you need to do is you need to do something you haven't done.
I've got 10 steps here to talk about, actually.
Well, 10 steps are always good, right? But you know, it's important that, for example, go ahead and learn a new language, learn how to do something new, and that, exactly like Peter said, and I was actually talking about this 2 weeks ago in the love therapy, it makes you interesting. You have something to talk about, you know. Look, I'm so proud of you, you learned how to do this. I tell her when she drives, because she doesn't like driving that much, I tell her, I'm so proud of you. And
Do you know why he's saying that? Because he was, sorry, I'm really loud. Do you know why he's saying that? Because I didn't want to drive today, and he was like, "Come on, you can do it." And I said, "No, thanks."
Oh, you didn't do it?
No.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, jokes aside, yeah.
Well, I've actually got we've got 1 minute, I think, left. So after the break, I'm going to talk about some signs of a needy person. So you'll be able to identify if you're needy. And also at the end, I mean, James has already sort of given a few clues about what you can do to not be so clingy, but we're going to go into that more as well. So join us after this. And we're also going to show you a sketch of a very needy lady. And you can probably spot the signs as well. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, where we're speaking all about neediness and how it can be a huge turn-off. So we've got a few signs here before we show you the sketch that I was talking to you about. We've got a few signs of a needy person, and see if you can identify with this. Actually, if you've got a needy partner, you probably know already, but just in case, you can recognize if your partner's overly needy as well. So the first one, now these points are for mostly dating couples, but some of them can be applied to those that have been together for a while. So say you've gone on a date and then the person's always asking things like, did you enjoy yourself? Would you rather we did something else? You need to be secure enough in yourself not to necessarily have to keep asking the person if they've enjoyed themselves. You know, pick something nice, go there, be confident and just enjoy yourself rather than having to keep asking.
And if the person enjoyed it, it's also good. It's not only about the other person.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, the needy person only focus on the other person.
Yeah. Which is nice. It's nice for them to care about what the other person thinks, but not when it's...
No, but the other person to a needy person is like her son.
Yeah.
You know, like without her son, she, you know, no life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So this one, which is something that Peter mentioned, you call someone and they've not called you back. So you either email or call again to ask if they received your message. So you send, or you maybe send a text, for example, they haven't texted back. Maybe that person's busy. Maybe they, you know.
Maybe they're in the toilet.
Maybe in the toilet, maybe they're in a meeting and they can't text you straight away. So instead of just waiting, you just keep texting and phoning and emailing and all these things start going. So that's a big no-no, that's a big turn-off. You start texting a person like you've just started dating 5 or 6 times a day. That's not good.
even if you haven't just started dating, you know, I don't think 5-6 times a day is too much, but it gets to a point where it can be too much, whether you're dating or married, it doesn't matter. There's a certain amount of text that you can send.
If you haven't got anything to say, say for example, because me and my husband, we do text each other during the day, but mostly it's because we need to do things and we need to sort things out. The odd one, like, we send sort of like cute messages, but we don't do it the whole day. Like some people want to do, or they expect it.
Yeah.
So, but as Peter was saying before as well, sort of there's sort of that finding the chase as well, because before I used to call all the time my husband and my boyfriend at the time, and I used to text him did we have text then? Yeah, we did. I used to text him all the time. My first phone. Yeah, I used to text him all the time, and then when I got secure about myself and I got confident, it's like I kind of stopped. And then sometimes it's like, oh, you haven't called me, or you haven't texted me, and I said, oh, and I actually forget sometimes because I'm so sort of busy or into what I'm doing. This happened this week
with my husband.
And it's kind of nice when they say, well, how come you haven't texted me or called me? I thought, oh, I like being chased, it's nice.
Isn't it? Let's switch off the phones, turn it off.
Let's see another one. You miss a call on your mobile phone from a phone number that you don't recognise. You call the person you're dating and to whom you just talked to about 2 hours ago and ask, did you just call me? Now this kind of behaviour, it says, is going to push and scare the person away, because it's like you're watching your phone, waiting for this person to give you a call, and then when you get a missed call, you call them straight away to see. It's like you can't get enough of them. Big no-no. And just one more before we go to the sketch. You agree with everything the person says. So it's like you're a yes person. This is a big turn off, and this shows need. It's like you want to please the person. Yeah, you want to please the person so much that if they say, oh, I hate the sunshine, they say, oh, I hate the sunshine too. If they say, oh, I hate going to this, oh, I hate going to the cinema too. So that neediness is you need to have your own personality, and that person, you know, appreciates you.
Because the person is so afraid of losing the other person, who is not even hers. Maybe they're just, no one is nobody's, but you know, we get married, you are one item, but it's too much. It's fear.
Yeah,
it's really
true.
deep.
But let's go to our next caller. Good evening. Are you still there? I think we've lost the call. Okay, so hopefully if you can call back, because I know someone was on the line. Let's have a look at this sketch now of a needy woman and just see if you can identify with any of these. Let's take a look.
John, se não pode arranjar tissue para mim, cara?
Eu tenho aqui.
It's okay, it's okay.
What are you doing at the weekend?
Not a lot really. I think I'm just going to sit in maybe. I think, oh no, actually I'm meeting up with some friends. We're going to go out for a drink on Saturday night. And that's it really. You any?
Yeah, well I don't know, it depends what you're doing. Where are you going to go?
Well, just the pub, the local pub. That's it really, just have a drink.
What's the local pub there?
Well, Maid of Muswell, Muswell Hill.
Okay.
I'm just going to go there, yeah.
Okay, can I come?
Yeah, you can come along if you want. Yeah,
Okay.
do you want to come along?
Yeah.
Me and my friends, you know, it's...
Well, me and my friends were actually thinking of trying that pub anyway, so maybe I'll just go with my friends and then you'll be there and then we can all sit together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Anyway, I'm probably going to need a drink at the weekend after the week I've had. It's been so annoying and draining. Yeah, just like generally people just getting on my nerves all the time. People at work all the time just like graining at me, going on at me. My friends
Yeah.
Like, because you've got a problem, why do you have to put it on me all the time? It's like I'm constantly just like helping, and it's just like really draining me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to start going to the gym a bit more and stuff like, because I just really want to like get toned up and stuff and like work hard, look good, you know, especially if we're going to be going out like every weekend now.
Every weekend.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. You don't mind if I come out, do you? You would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, I'd say.
What did you do last night?
Just stayed in the flat.
You stayed in the flat?
Yeah, stayed in the flat.
I thought you said you were going out.
No.
You did? You said you were going to go out.
Did I?
Yeah, you said you were going to go meet your friend, Daniel, or something like that.
Well, Daniel's my housemate, so I live with Daniel.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Sure it's not Danielle? And that does not stick in my memory that you said that you were going to like stay in with your flatmate. You said, I'm going to go out and meet Dan.
Well, I did. I stayed in.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
no,
whatever.
I don't know anyone called Danielle.
Alright, fine. I'm just saying that you said you were going to go out and clearly you didn't. So obviously there's something that's not quite truthful here.
I can't be bothered with this at the moment. I'll be right back. Fucking joke. What are you doing?
Your phone made a noise, like someone texts you. What's the problem? That's normal.
That's none of your business. You don't check
Yeah,
my
but if
phone.
somebody
Why do you check my phone
because it was
for
ringing.
Danielle.
Back to what I was saying before about my friends and stuff. They've just been draining me just like you are now, just expecting me to just constantly give my all and just get nothing back but just lies and just being completely taken advantage of, to be honest. Ooh, God, I need a drink now. Anyway, whatever, let's just move on from it. So what are we doing after this then?
Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do?
I thought you said that you were going to, like, you know, we could go for a drink or something, do something fun. I don't want to go home on my own, you know. I don't want to go home on my own. Why should I?
That is what I call a nightmare girlfriend.
Oh
What did you think?
God.
And just an advice: if you're dating, if you just started dating someone like that, run a mile, and then run another mile, and then another 2 just for measure, because that's not the beginning of something good.
Oh, my God, I felt sorry for him, but you see.
I thought you could say you felt sorry for her.
No, I felt sorry for him because this happens a lot. I used to be not as bad, but I used to be a bit like this. So I know, poor thing, he suffered so much in the beginning. It's true.
It wasn't that bad.
It was a little bit for me now that I recognize. But you see how, and then the person always asks or tells a friend, "Oh, I don't know why so and so never called me back."
Oh. Maybe you should watch more videos like this and then you'll know, right?
You know, and the person, she really can't see she's been annoying and too pushy and whatever. It will never work.
And the thing is, let's just talk now about the girl, because for the guy, if she's that one who's needy, you know, there's nothing interesting about yourself, because everything that you're doing is, you know, you want to suck as much information from him as possible, and but what about you? What is there that you have that I want to know, right? You may be very beautiful, but if you behave like that, there's nothing that you have that I want to know more about. For example, if you tell me, you know, it's a two-way street, a two-way conversation, and you tell me, look, you know what, I in the weekends I like to go horseback riding. I mean, that's interesting, right? I mean, did you grow up in a farm? Did your dad keep horses? That's interesting, right? But if you're just sucking up all the information, then it's...
So you see, someone who is needy, the person doesn't have much personality. It's all about the person. That's it.
Well, I think we've got our caller back on the line. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Chrissy, I'm your #1 fan.
Okay. Well, you better be, because you're my husband. How are you, Michael, darling?
So, just catching up with the program.
Yeah.
And I just want to confirm what you're saying. You were, when we were dating, a very needy person. Very needy. To the point where, I don't know if you know, or if I told you before, but you would drive me away. And the thing is, when you would when I would want to be with my friends, when I would want to be, I don't know, I'll go out after work, or I want to be, have my me time. I was so frustrated because I got missed calls from you, or I got texts from you, and I would purposely ignore them because I knew
you used to ignore
you
them
were after me all the time.
This is not a good time, Chris. This is not a good time.
But the thing is this, that because we had an argument, because we were going through maybe a problem at that moment, I would purposely do that. But the thing is, I missed you.
Oh.
And when we would make up and things like that, then things were back to normal. So, you know, if a person is needy, very needy, then what will happen is you could drive your partner or your spouse away from you, or even to the point of making your partner have an affair with someone else. And another thing is this, that I realized when you stopped kind of being needy, I started being needy towards you as well, because I wanted to be around you all the time as well.
Which is what our previous caller was saying as well, because it's like more attractive when someone is confident about themselves.
Yeah.
Well, why did you stay with me, Michael? Even though I was
Sorry?
saying, why did you put up with it? Why did you stay with me?
Deep down, I cared for you at the time. I had feelings for you. I loved you. So I knew that the relationship was good. We were already, you know, a few years into the relationship. So I know that's why we're
But some
together,
people,
right?
some people aren't fortunate enough to have someone, because James stayed with you, you stayed with me, Michael. But some people, some men or women can't
They're not
take it, and
prepared
they're not prepared for that. They can't handle. Maybe they've got their own issues and they can't deal with that kind of treatment. And it's like they can't. The relationship ends up breaking down.
I think for you to help, because you need to help someone who is needy. If you really care for her, if you really want a future with the person, you need to help the person.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about how the person is, the signs, but a person like this needs help, because she is probably being needy towards her friends, her
That's
family
right,
members, as well as much as with her boyfriend or girlfriend. So you see, you need to be mature. So, for example, Michael, you were, I believe, quite mature to understand that maybe she was acting the way she was acting because, you know, she was other issues at the time, like depression. So it requires maturity a bit.
Baby, thank you for calling.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell the viewers as well afterwards what I did one day when you went out and you didn't call me. Remind me to tell them after the break, because we're going to go to a quick break. If you want to call in, 020 7686 6300. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
So I did say before the break I would tell the viewers what I did once when Michael went out. Now this was when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we weren't together that long, but he went out to a club without telling me. He didn't tell me, and his mum, when I phoned the house, his mum told me afterwards. And it's like because I didn't know where he'd gone, I was calling him like throughout the night. I was calling his mobile, I was calling his house phone till his mum got fed up and took the phone off the hook. I think he didn't come back until about 4 in the morning.
Oh dear.
So, but it wasn't the fact, it wasn't so much that I didn't trust him, although that was an issue as well. I was actually worried about him. I thought something could happen to him. So I was just calling him throughout the whole night. And you were saying something interesting as well, James, about sort of the me time, because obviously he wanted some time with his friends, but I didn't think it was a nice thing to do. You could have told me, you know.
Yeah, the thing about me time is that it's a two-edged sword. You need to have time for you to do things that are constructive, but just you cannot use that as an excuse. I need to have me time with my friends in the nightclub, because you know you're there with your friends. Whichever woman's going to see you is going to think that you're single, or it's not maybe a great environment. However, me time for you to do some sports, to do a hobby, that's constructive.
Go to
football match, watch Formula 1, whatever it is that you like to do, that's good. And actually, while you do that, the wife, the girlfriend can sacrifice for the guy, and even though she hates that, she can sit there just because even that's important time together.
No, you don't. You don't stop it anyway. All right, so let's look at a few, because I've had to skip a few points, but this is another one. Now, if you're too available for that person, say you've made plans to go somewhere with your friend, or to go to your, I don't know, wherever it is that you were going to go to, and then as soon as this new boyfriend calls you, you just drop all your plans and you just go with that person. That's also a sign that you're very needy. So if you've made plans, stick to them. Okay, now, you know, if you've been married and stuff like that for a while and stuff, maybe, okay, you would cancel a few things because you want to put your husband first. But I think when you're dating, you don't need to just drop everything just because the person picks up the phone and calls you.
When you're dating, let him chase you.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I agree. I think we've got another caller. Good evening.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. What did you have to say about neediness then?
I had a girlfriend before that we used to speak so much, like every day, and she's so needy that it got to a point that, you know, we had to break up.
because she was so needy. She wanted me every day there. She wanted to speak to me every day.
But didn't you feel flattered?
Sorry?
Didn't you feel flattered? Didn't you feel like, oh, she's chasing me?
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, but like after a while, and like every day, it started being a bit boring.
Okay.
So we had to break up. But
You broke it off with her?
Yeah, I broke up.
Did you tell her why?
Yes.
No, you didn't, did you? Did you tell her why?
Not everything, but I told her.
Well, you should, because that will help her.
Not now. Don't tell her now, by the way. Not now. Too late.
It's important that you are sincere, because that will help the other person.
No, I let her know that one of the reasons why was because she was really needy.
Okay.
Because she wanted my attention. Sometimes I would be working and she wanted me to stop everything just for her.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem.
People have to realize that the other person has a life as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for your call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So we're running out of time, but let me just quickly whiz through a few things like to maybe not make you needy. So the first thing is, which I always talk about on the show, is don't make that person your world, which we've touched on as well. If you make that person your everything, so any little thing that they do will upset you. Anything that they say will upset you. If they're not around you, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel, so you need to make other things, like have other interests, have other goals, do things. Don't make that person your be all and end all, because you will definitely be needy.
Many people get into depression because a relationship ended.
Yeah,
because
they
the
kill
person,
themselves.
yeah,
That's
they
people
kill
that commit
themselves.
suicide.
It's like that person is her everything,
Yeah.
or vice versa. He's everything. They can't imagine their life without the person.
So you know you've got other things in your life. You've got your family. Some people have their faith. Some people have a career. There's other things in your life
hobbies.
that you don't have to focus all your energy on one thing. So that's the one big thing that you need to do if you don't want to be needy. So another thing you do, like you mentioned as well, James, is like the education, get doing other things,
Invest in yourself.
Invest in
That's it.
yourself.
Yeah.
That's something very, very important. Let's see this one, just a second. You should monitor your behaviour. Let's have a look here. Now, neediness does go with being clingy as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because when you're sort of clinging on to the person, clinging on to everything that they say, have your own personality.
It's very important.
And I think this goes back to investing in yourself. Just
be an interesting person.
Yeah.
Someone like who was that Peter in the beginning?
Yeah.
Who said, she has to be interesting. The conversation has to be interesting, not just, oh, how are you?
Yeah.
Can I call you later?
And nobody wants to wear a T-shirt that everybody else has. So you want something unique. So if you're someone, forgive me, my throat is sorry.
Right.
If you're someone that like you said in the beginning, you're a yes person. Everything he says, yes, oh my love, anything you say, and you don't have a personality, then what's different about you for me to like you? You understand?
Yeah.
If you're really different, it's those different things that will make me say, wow, I don't want to let go of this person because she's so different. But if you're needy, then whatever the guy says or whatever she says, then you'll do, and then
there's no.
You become like maybe everybody else. So you want someone different.
And something that you really, really need to do, if you do have this sort of tendencies, if you recognise from this show today that you are a needy person, you need to examine, where is that coming from? Why am I like this? Does it stem from my childhood? Was I sort of maybe ignored as a child, and then anyone that came along I would cling to them because I needed the attention? You need to see where that's coming from, and if you need help with that, you can get counselling. You can go along to seminars like the one that they do, love therapy. You can also email me, chris@chrissybisha.tv. I can put you in touch with organisations that can help you for free. So don't sort of just say, this is me and that's it, and this is the way that I am and I can't help it. We changed, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We were very needy and we changed, and it really made our relationships blossom. But I know also how devastating it can be on a relationship when one party or both even are very needy, because it's just, the relationship's just hell. It's like you don't enjoy it. But when you're with someone confident and you get on, it's such a lovely thing to go home to someone that you get along with.
Peace. He's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. We meet at the end of the day. What have you done? Oh, I've achieved this and that. It's really good.
Yeah.
And positive, I think.
Guys, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Now, I'd just like to announce to everyone, I'm very happy about this, because James and Helena are going to be our resident love experts, aren't you? So you'll be seeing them not every week, but you're going to be seeing them more often because they have a lot of things to share with us, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot from them as well. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us. Really.
It's a pleasure. And also, just to let you know that on Saturday, I will be at Westfield, Stratford from 9 a.m. We're going to be doing a couple of live shows there. So if you want to come along, say hello, we can take some pictures. There's going to be lots and lots of fun things on the day. We're going to have DKW there as well, which is our program that we have on Sunday at 4 p.m. You co-presenting that, don't you?
Yeah.
Which you may have seen Helena on as well. And we're going to be doing different live shows. We're going to have you in the audience participating, answering questions if you want, giving your opinion about stuff. We're going to have free goodies. It's going to be a lovely, lovely day. So I do hope to see you then. I'd love to meet you. So also on Friday, just to let you know, the topic of the show is going to be what's the obsession with bad boys. So why is it that some women are constantly going for these types of guys that have nothing to offer them, but they can't seem to keep away? So we're going to be talking about that on Friday. But if you want more information about the show or anything you've seen here today, you can go to the website. What's the website, Jade? It's chrissybshow.tv, right? I have no auto cue tonight. chrissybshow.tv, yes. So you can visit the website for more information. Have a wonderful evening and see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.